me.
Hello, Gail! Oh my god, how have you been? How have you been? Oh my god, hi, missed ya. Another upload where Adam is going like this. Oh my gosh, I haven't uploaded in so long. I'm so sorry about it. But yeah, I have been going insane. I mean, I am diagnosed tapped. I am someone that actually has a diagnosis of tapped, several diagnoses in fact. So, you know, every now and then I just go a bit crazy. And even though this has been a pattern throughout my entire life and I have all of these diagnoses and I'm very aware of it, I still am like, what's going on? Why do I feel like insane? So today I'm just gonna do I also just had a coffee. So I'm crazy. Don't talk to me before I have my morning coffee.
I'm scared.
Today, I basically just wanted to come on and kind of catch you guys up and like explain a little bit of what I mean when I say I've been going insane. Like I want to kind of talk you through the past couple of months because I obviously haven't uploaded in a long time, and even the video that I last uploaded, the spelling bee with Eleanor, was also filmed ages before I even uploaded it anyways. So like I feel like I haven't actually caught up with you guys. Circle back and give you like a bit of a current update. So I mean, again, like I said, been going insane. And what do I mean by that? The gist of it is that I think Eyebrow Gate, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know about all of this situation. But basically, I had an allergic reaction to some eyebrow and eyelash tint, and it was the worst fucking allergic reaction I've ever had. In the past, again, I've talked about this on Instagram, so you might already know this story if you follow me over there. But I tinted my eyebrows a few years ago and had a bit of an allergic reaction. It scabbed and was like really gross, and I was like, ew, hate this. But I want to be able to tint my eyebrows, so like once it had healed, maybe a month or so later, I tried again with the same dye. Fucking idiot. Because in my head, I was like, I think I actually just like left it on for too long and like didn't put Vaseline around my eyebrows or anything like that. So I did all of that. And don't get me wrong, it didn't react quite as badly, but it did still like kind of get scabby and gross. So then I was like, oh my God, does this mean I can't fucking tint my eyebrows? Like I'm just gonna have to have pale eyebrows for my entire life. But you know, that was a few years ago, and since then I have actually found tint that works for me. It's actually just for men, greys, hair dye. It does still get like a little bit itchy and maybe a little bit red, but I make sure to put a lot of Vaseline around it, and also I take an antihistamine. This is something that I also found out once I started dyeing my hair. My hair is red! Apparently I must actually just be a bit allergic to hair dye, because when I first dyed it red, I mean, it didn't go all scabby and gross like my eyebrows did, but it definitely reacted a little bit because it was a bit itchy. The back of my head was like throbbing, and that was not fun. Throbbing Williams, for real. There's like a hair back here that is tickling me, and it's really fucking pissing me off. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Anyways, all of this to say, basically, in the past, dyed my eyebrows, had an allergic reaction, was like, shit, found one that works for me. And then I also started to perm my eyelashes myself. I would also tint them, and like, yeah, perming and tinting my eyelashes, I never had any kind of issues or anything. And then it was coming up towards the end of Jan, and if you don't know, that is Eleanor's birthday. Whoop, whoop. Obviously, I was gonna be going down to Brighton and celebrating with her. So the week of her birthday was on a Saturday. I was like, cool, I'm gonna perm and tint my lashes, because I was also gonna be staying down there for like a week or so, because our friend Grace's birthday was the following week. I used the same perming thing that I've always used, so that definitely wasn't an issue, but I actually ended up getting a new tint that was actually like a brow and lash tint, but I obviously was like, I'm not gonna fucking touch my eyebrows with that because of the past. I had done the perm, it was looking stunning, and I was like, cool, just need to tint them now. And for some reason, I had a serious lapse in judgment when I was tinting my eyelashes, and just was like, do you know what? Fuck it, like maybe I will actually just run it through my eyebrows a little bit, because the one thing about that dye is that like it doesn't actually last quite as long. So I usually will do it every like 7 to 10 days or something, and because I was going to be down there for like a weekish, I was like, okay, if I do it like the day before, they'll still be like nice and tinted the whole time that I'm there. But for some reason, again, like I say, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put like a tiny little bit through my eyebrows. Ended up having a reaction. I actually probably still would have had a reaction had I not put it on my eyebrows, because it was like puffy around my actual eyes and stuff. Obviously, like it swelled up and I looked fucking insane. And obviously it was also just like, fuck's sake, like I did this so that I could like feel and look cute for my friend's birthday. And now I'm kind of like, am I even gonna be able to go, because I don't wanna be showing up to someone's party looking like this. It wasn't like painful or anything, so I was like, okay, I'll take antihistamines and maybe like just leave it a day and see how it goes. I woke up the next day, it was worse. So then I was like, oh shit, like I should probably actually try and do something about this. By this point, it was like Wednesday, I was traveling down on Friday and I still had like these bulging eyes, and I did like call 111 and was like, should I do something about this now? And actually, NHS, I know that you're really warm thin because the fucking government is shit, but like, they told me that they were gonna FaceTime me and have a look. The call didn't actually end up coming. So I got pied by the NHS, love that for me. But before that, I actually ended up just like going up to my GP and kind of going in and being like, hey, help. I'm glad that I ended up doing that, because yeah, they did manage to see me and I got put on some steroids. Ended up taking those roids, and I wake up on Thursday. It wasn't like fully healed or whatever, but like the swelling had pretty much gone. So now I was like looking a bit more normal. It was just still a bit like gunky. For lack of a better term. Sorry, I know that's really gross. And also I should say as well, I was waking up with my eyes like stuck shut. So it was like, I'm waking up, but like, hello? So I kind of had to like slowly, because also I didn't want to like yank them open. I didn't want to like damage my eyelashes, because this was the other thing as well. Throughout all of this, annoyingly, I could see that my lashes still looked pretty. It was probably one of the best perms that I had actually managed to do on myself ever. So of course, I ended up having an allergic reaction, can't fucking see it. Anyways, I wake up on the Friday and I'm like, yeah, still a little bit gunky and gross, but in general, I look like me again. Because that was also a really trippy thing. I feel like I got so used to seeing myself like that at one point I literally was like, I feel like I barely remember what I look like. When I envision looking in the mirror now, this is what I am seeing in my head, which was so weird. But again, it was gone. And I was like, yay! Can go down to Brighton and still have fun. Woo! And I remember thinking like, oh my God, shit, like I'm on steroids. Does that mean that I'm not gonna be able to drink? I was like, oh my God, if I can't drink at like one of my besties' fucking birthdays, I'm gonna be so upset. However, the NHS website did tell me that I was able to drink on them, but it just warned that like my hangover might be a bit worse, basically. And I was like, I can deal with that.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
But yeah, so I get down to Brighton, it's all lovely and dandy. She has like some friends come round and we're just like at her house having drinks, waiting until midnight to like ring in her actual birthday, like a woo! Which was obviously all very fun, and I was really excited to like be around my friends as well, because I hadn't seen everyone since like New Year's. But at the same time, even though I was looking a bit more normal, my eyes and eyebrow situation still wasn't exactly like cute, still didn't exactly feel nice. So I was also just conscious of the fact that I probably wasn't going to be able to put any makeup on or anything like that at Eleanor's party, which was also annoying because it was a themed party and it was like British icons, and my plan was to go as Mr. Blobby. Or mixed blobby, you know, because I'm non-binds. And I was just gonna essentially wear like a pink outfit and then like put some like yellow spots on my face with makeup. And I was like, I don't really want to just like paint yellow spots on my face if I can't also do like a bit of actual cute makeup and stuff, because then I'm probably just gonna look like I have some kind of disease. So I was like, I don't know if the Mr. Blobby outfit is really gonna work anymore. And it was also just like feeling a bit insecure as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I just didn't feel cute. We end up going to the club, which was never actually the plan, because obviously we have a party literally the next day, so probably wasn't the best idea to do that, but we were all, you know, a bit merry, and we were like, fuck it, like it'll be fun, and it's like Eleanor's actual birthday, let's go out and celebrate. And don't get me wrong, was a really fun night. However, obviously, ended up quite drunk. Stayed up really, really late, which meant I woke up the next day pretty late in the day and severely hungover. Obviously, up until maybe 5, drinking pretty heavily, and also famously, literally on steroids that will make a hangover worse. So yeah, I woke up the next day and I was like, oh my God, you guys, I'm gonna die. And it was doubly annoying because we didn't really have any like solid plans during the day. It was mostly just gonna be the party in the evening. So that day I was gonna go out and get the backup costume that I had kind of thought of, that I was like, this doesn't require any kind of makeup or anything. I was gonna go out, and guys, I think you will find this so funny, but I was gonna go as What a Sad Little Life Jane. Just like wear like, I think he wears like a striped shirt and just like have a bit of paper and like kind of look pissed off, you know? I feel like that's quite a good, fairly easy, but like a fun funny concept costume that is going to be well received. But my plan was to go and get that on the actual Saturday. However, because of my roided out fucking hangover, I literally couldn't get out of bed until, I want to say, maybe 6 p.m. And Eleanor's party started at fucking 8. I was obviously also texting Eleanor being like, I'm so sorry, I feel so fucking bad. Like, I've literally just been in bed all day on your actual birthday and my costume's fucking shit. She obviously was literally like, I don't care, I've kind of had a bit of a chill hangover day anyways. But I obviously just like still felt a little bit bad. Did eventually manage to pull myself up, go to the party, shoe up. My costume was non-existent. I wore the outfit that I was gonna wear as Mr. Blobby and just kept telling people I was like, I was supposed to be Mr. Blobby, but I had this fucking allergic reaction. It means I couldn't do the makeup and everything was fucking shit. And again, it was all actually kind of chill and I still ended up having a good time, albeit maybe feeling a little bit insecure because also obviously, again, still had gammy eyes and eyebrows. So I was wearing my hat like forward and had like these little fake glasses. They're really old and a bit scratched and I actually am blessed with like 20/20 vision. When I put those on, it makes me see worse. Also, my vision was actually a little bit fucking worse anyways because I had fucking shitty eyelashes and fucking... Overall, like on paper, everything was actually like pretty good considering. However, like I say, I am mental. When I say that, obviously I'm someone that likes to laugh about things or whatever, but I am mentally ill. As you guys know, I have several diagnoses and I do think that my OCD was going crazy. It was going off. One of my worst kind of symptoms of my OCD is like intrusive thoughts about like being a bad person. I'm constantly convinced that I'm like secretly evil and everyone's gonna find out. I also am always convinced that everyone secretly hates me. And it's that thing where it's like logically, I can literally say out loud and acknowledge how illogical that sounds. Like all of these people actively hang out with me, like hanging out with me. Probably wouldn't do that if they didn't like me, but my brain just like doesn't believe it at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It's a really weird, trippy kind of feeling to be able to logically think and say those things out loud, but I also can't not feel it and I can't stop thinking about it. And so because I, was really hungover on Eleanor's birthday and like my costume situation was fucking shit and like I just also maybe wasn't necessarily 100% my like normal self because of my like allergic reaction situation, like I just was like, see, you're a fucking evil piece of shit friend, like it's literally your friend's birthday and like you have fucked up everything and you're like barely even seen her on her birthday. And again, I literally was communicating with Eleanor, who was also saying it's fine. Like she was like, I understand, you're literally on this medication and we did kind of go hard last night. Like she was literally telling me it was fine, but my brain just like couldn't let go of it. And again, it's that thing where it's like rationally and logically I can be like, this isn't real, but then like if anything is to sort of prove an intrusive thought right, that makes things so much fucking worse because then it's like, see, I told you. All of these irrational thoughts, suddenly there is like some kind of evidence that they're not irrational, which means it's even harder to kind of like escape them. But yeah, I think just like all of these things were the proof. I was like, well, a not evil person wouldn't do any of this stuff, would they? Do you know what I mean? And again, it's like a really weird thing where I'm like, shut up. I don't actively think like that, but my literal mental illness does think like that. And I just was like feeling a lot of that. Trying my best to still like have a lot of fun, which I did. I think it was the kind of thing where like when I was with everyone and hanging out, a blast, like love hanging out with my friends, love spending time with all my friends. But when I'm going to bed or like, the mornings when I wake up or like any kind of downtime that I have on my own is when my brain starts to be like, so yeah, remember how everyone hates you? So it's been a lot of that. And then I also do think that like the allergic reaction, I think just kind of like threw me out of balance in the way of like, it's not like I had a lot of prep to do. I pack literally in the morning of trips half the time and stuff like that. So it's not like I actually had any kind of physical prep or whatever. But I think my brain was so preoccupied thinking about the fact that I was having this fucking allergic reaction. And I also, again, wasn't really even sure if I was gonna be able to go down until the morning of. I didn't really have any time to kind of like mentally be prepared preparing for the fact that I was gonna be away from my home and my routines and stuff like that. Friday morning, I was like, okay, cool, I can go. So then I think it was like, I make it onto the train and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, like I've barely even thought about the fact that I am going away for like a week and a bit. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it sounds maybe a bit like simple and trivial. I feel like I don't really know how to explain it because it's not like, again, it's not like I had to sit there and really be like, okay, I'm going away, like da-da-da-da-da. It was just like, it hadn't really been on my mind. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, I'm going away now. So then I was also just a bit out of whack because of that and this fucking allergic reaction and then my OCD telling me I'm fucking evil. Oh, and I will say, this is probably a big part of it. I had actually just decreased my antidepressant dose, maybe like within a month prior to this, and didn't actually like consult anyone on that. I've joked about this before, that I had a friend a while ago who was like, I think I'm gonna come off my antidepressants because I feel okay. And I was like, why do you think you fucking feel okay because you're on antidepressants? It's not like I was like, oh, I feel fine, so I'm gonna go on a lower dose. I actually was only doing it because I had found out that like a side effect of antidepressants is like a raised body temperature and like more sweating. And for the past like year and a half of me being on this slightly higher dose, I had noticed that I was like sweating more. And I was like, I do actually feel pretty good. And I'm now also like medicated for my ADHD and stuff. So like maybe I could drop down to a lower dose. And if I can manage it, that'll hopefully be good in terms of like stopping me from being so sweaty and warm all the time, because I'm someone that has always run hot anyways. Like I'm always warm. So the fact that I was like on a medication that was also going to be exacerbating that, I was just like, are you fucking kidding? I only really clocked like after I came back from my trip, I was like, wait, also I have actually lowered my antidepressant dose, and it does take a while for your system to actually like adjust to it, because again, like I say, I had done it like a month prior to that, so it wasn't even something that was like on my mind. But I feel like I'm now also realizing that was probably a big contributing factor, because the whole reason that I increased my dosage anyways was because I got my OCD diagnosis, and they told me that the medication that I was already on for my depression also like helped with OCD symptoms. So they were like, if you up your dosage, that could be something that helps with your OCD. I did that, and not gonna lie, yeah, I do actually think that it really helped, because those couple of weeks there, my OCD was going crazy. And it was kind of a weird thing because my OCD is like a bit more of a recent diagnosis, and I immediately started kind of on a higher dose of my medication to hopefully help with that. However, I feel like it's not something that I like have super clocked in my day-to-day life as of the past year or so. So then this past like month where I was on this like lower dose and starting to actually notice that my OCD was going a bit crazy, I was like, oh shit, maybe the medication was actually helping. So needless to say, I've gone back up. I am feeling a bit better. That's kind of where I've been at over the past couple of months. Me making this video was kind of like, I want to do this before I actually kind of like get back into posting on YouTube again. Oh, and I did actually ask on Instagram if there was anything in particular that you guys wanted me to like update on. You know, I've kind of explained a lot of what has been going on in my life semi-recently, so now I'll see what you guys wanted to hear me talk about. Aw, how are you so funny? I'm autistic. That was a joke, but also kind of not. Something that I'm realizing is that I do actually think that part of the reason that a lot of people consider me funny is that I am just autistic. Throughout my entire life, there's been so many instances where I've just like said something and I'm not trying to be funny, but people giggle. And you know what? I guess that's one benefit of my autism, because I do like making people giggle. How's driving going? It's not. That's something that I also like have been meaning to get round to for so fucking long, but I just like haven't got round to even looking into fucking driving lessons and stuff. But at this point, I only have a year until my provisional test thing runs out, but it is on the agenda. Hopefully try and get that done soon, because I would like to get it done soon. That's so weird. Someone said, how do I deal with the feeling that everyone pretends to like me? Love you, by the way. Love you too. Don't know. You're asking the wrong person. Literally, I'm living that existence right now. I guess all I can say is we're in this together. Interesting. Someone asked for weight loss tips. You are glowing at the moment, so pass that my way. First of all, Rachel, thank you. It's not really something that I've like talked super openly about on the internet, but I have been and am still on like a bit of a weight loss journey. I have actually considered making a whole video about it purely because I am someone that has like struggled with disordered eating, and I actually feel like I've come a really long way and done everything in kind of like a healthy way. Which also, by the way, I probably should have said, I understand that this is actually quite a triggering subject, so I will put a timestamp if you want to skip. Like I say, I've been considering making a video because I feel like I actually have done it in a way that has been quite healthy for me. But like I kind of just said, actually, I know that it is a really touchy and sensitive topic or whatever. So that's part of the reason that I have been a bit hesitant to like even just talk about it in general too much, because I don't ever want someone to look at like how I used to look and like maybe that's how you look, or maybe you're a bit bigger than that. And because I've like made this effort to kind of like move away from looking like that, I don't ever want someone to be like, oh, does that mean that I don't look good? Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that it's a really, really difficult one to talk about. I have done things in like kind of the healthiest way. I joke that I've like healed my eating disorder, basically, which I don't know if that's necessarily like true. I feel like that's something that's probably always gonna be a little bit there, but I am in such a fucking better place than I ever have been with my eating and with my body in general. I feel so confident. I'm still like on the journey. Like I still kind of have a bit more of a goal, but I again feel so much more confident and healthy and all of that shit than I ever have. So all of that to say, should I make a video about it? Again, it's just such a sensitive topic that I'm kind of like, I just would worry that I would be walking on eggshells in order to make sure that I don't piss anyone off, which is obviously a pretty impossible task. So yeah, ow, I just brushed my eye. I'm considering making a whole video about it, basically. Perhaps stay tuned, I guess. Favorite video games? Interesting. I've actually just played the first Spider-Man game and the Miles Morales Spider-Man game on PlayStation, and I'm gonna be starting the second one that I think has both of them in it tonight. That's actually like my chill time this evening. I really like them both. I think I preferred the first one, maybe purely just because it was like a little bit longer. I noticed that the Miles Morales one, when you pause it, there's a percentage on like how far into the campaign that you are, and I noticed that that number was going up a lot quicker. So yeah, I've been really loving those games. Obviously, you guys probably know that I do also very much enjoy Fortnite because I am 12. But yeah, pretty much just Fortnite and Spider-Man. I do also think the reason that I like the Spider-Man games, I think that kind of setup is my favorite kind of game. I'm not really someone that gets on with video games like The Last of Us. Don't shoot me, but I don't like games that are really like, I guess, really linear and have like a lot of cutscenes, and it's essentially like you're watching a film but also kind of like participating at the same time. Like, I don't really like those kind of games. I like things like Spider-Man. Borderlands is one of my favorite games. I like things that are kind of like an open world and there is like a linear story that you follow, but you do it at your own leisure. There's side missions, there's things that you can upgrade. Like, I like that kind of game. And I like anything with superpowers. Oh, I also played Control. I think it's a bit of an older game, but it's this girl, she has telekinesis and she's like in a building and trying to like figure weird shit out about that building. It was actually quite like a trippy game, like a bit of a thriller kind of vibe, but I fucking loved that game. Again, I love things with like superpowers, and like that again had like a linear storyline, but also had side missions and things that I could upgrade. When there's like superpowers involved, I love when there's like things that I can upgrade and like I can get like new abilities and stuff. And like in that game, you get to a certain point and you're able to like unlock being able to fucking fly or like kind of float. I love that. I'm such a nerd. I'm such a gamer gal. If anyone actually... Right. If anyone has any recommendations of games that are similar to what I just described, drop them down below. Diva, are you seeing the Ariana tour? Please, I lost the war. Oh my God, that's so unfortunate. So I didn't actually even enlist. I didn't try and get tickets, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really someone, first of all, I'm povo, but second of all, I'm not really someone that participates in kind of like ticket wars, purely because a lot of the time I'm quite lucky that I have friends that participate in the ticket wars and I kind of just send them money. As of right now, I don't have any friends that participated in the Ariana ticket war, but she literally has a show, I'm pretty sure on my birthday. So like, even though I don't have a ticket, I will be there. I'm kind of manifesting that I'm gonna figure it out. How's it been since all the well, no offense, you kind of worded that really weirdly. How's it all been since the diagnoses? I think I actually said a while ago that I could maybe make a whole video about my autism diagnosis and maybe like talk at length about that. So I won't like go super into detail about it, but it's been a mostly positive but kind of like difficult journey. You know, I got my diagnosis for my autism at the end of 2024. 4. And I feel like I'm still trying to figure it all out. This past like year or so, living on my own and being in my own space and stuff has been really, really good for me to try and like relearn about myself with this diagnosis in mind. However, I do think that I am now at the point where I've like kind of gotten as far as I can without external help, if that makes sense. That's why I'm looking into therapy. I'm glad that I took all this time to kind of like really do all of that stuff, and a lot of stuff in my life has like gotten better and improved and stuff. But like I said, I think I need some more help from like an actual profession. It's just like a bit of a faff to like get a therapist. Like I don't really know how to go about that, especially because I want one that specializes in autism and ADHD. Anyways, there are a couple of other things that people were asking, but I might actually save that and like do another just like random chatty Q&A or something like that. In terms of videos that will be coming up, I have filmed and been filming a couple of like sesh vlogs and stuff like that. So those videos will be coming out eventually, albeit they might be pretty dated. For example, I filmed a vlog at Winter Wonderland that I do actually still want to upload because it is like a funny vlog. But then after that also, I kind of want to get back into more of this format, maybe like kind of just like vlogging my general day-to-days and stuff. The sesh vlogs aren't going anywhere. I know that that's like something that people really, really enjoy on my channel, but I feel like I just want to fuck about on my channel a bit more. I feel like I started to really pigeonhole myself into being like, I'm a sesh vlogger, that's like what I do, and like all of my videos are like me being crazy and drunk and stuff, and like obviously that is a big part of my life, but it's not all I have. So maybe get ready to potentially see some really random shit, because I do have some funny little ideas. And with that, the video has come to an end. Oh, I've also just realized this is how much of a fucking mess I am. Like half my pictures are falling off the wall and I still haven't even picked them up. Oh my God, and I also need to like show you my house. I moved into this place over a year ago at this point, and like I still have the footage of me like moving. So I'll probably do like a bit of a moving vlog so that you can actually like see my house and my space, because I do love it. It's very cute. Here's a spoiler, it's very pink. Literally everything is pink.
Love pink.
But yeah, really glad to be back. And thanks for sticking around even though I'm hardly ever here. Love you guys, love you.